We're doing, we do commercial, residential, um, real estate. We're in sales. We do all kinds of good stuff. We cover sales. We are in real estate. We do residential, commercial real estate, investments. Ask me anything you got. We do residential, commercial real estate. We are heavy in sales. Ask away. I'm here to answer any of your questions about sales, growing your business, anything like that. We do commercial, residential. We are all over sales. What's up, Gabrielle? And it's just vitamins. We do everything sales, real estate, anything you can think about when it comes to real estate. If you got any questions, we've been in real estate for probably 13 years. I've got a full team. How to handle I'm not interested. So that's a good question. What type of business? Okay, real estate. Yeah, so what we really talk about mainly when it comes to objections is there's a method called RAM. It's called repeat, approve, and move. Anything when it comes to not interested, my biggest thing is is it an objection or is it actually something that someone's not interested in, right? Because there's a difference between someone not being interested in buying real estate or owning any real estate. And if that's the case, I'm not going to sit there and talk to that person. That is not really what I coach with my team. Um, if someone's not interested in what you've got, I'm not going to be here to make you interested. My goal is to talk to people who are interested, and I've got to filter out those people. And so when it comes to, actually having that conversation, I'll simply be like, hey, I get you're not interested. I can totally understand that. And then I'm going to move on to the next thing where it's like, if you were interested, what would you be looking for? That kind of lends itself to opening up the door of like, you may not be interested now, but in the event that you are interested in the next 6 months, 12 months, a year, that kind of opens up that. What's up? So yeah, I mean, that kind of just opens up that conversation where I'm not heavy and like hard selling all the time. My biggest thing is like, I want to understand where you're at, what your goals are. And it may not be 6 months, 12 months from, right now. Maybe this is a conversation that we have 2 years from now, but I want to make sure that I understand that so I know when to follow up with you. Does that make sense, Vic? That's a good question, dude. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. It's I got the suit from State and Liberty. Dude, their suits are absolutely top tier. I prefer this over anything else. Do I know Sabrine? I'm not sure who Sabrine is. Who is Sabrine? What's my real name? My name is Addison Corbin. And going back to that question, Vic, did that answer your question? I don't know if you're still here. And so I'm in Georgia. So we cover all the metro Atlanta area. We cover north and south of Atlanta. Who's Sabrine? Serbian? Is this like a joke? Do you know Serbian? I don't know who that is, Nico. What questions as far as like sales, real estate, commercial real estate? We do everything. Investments. Bro, my hair is crazy. Who is this person, Nico? Bro, did you ask twice? Who is this person? Do you know which tea does football players like? No idea. Tell me. Vic, that's another really good question. I mean, so it's all relative to like location, right? Like California, the reason why their real estate is so expensive. Penalty. That's funny. That's funny, Tam. But as far as like real estate in different locations, it's all pretty much based on income of that state, right? If people can afford it, they're going to spend it. And California holds so many different types of people, so many companies. Like California is just such a large state. Tam, that was funny. That was very funny. It's such a large state that at the end of the day, people can charge that, right? They make that amount of money, so they're able to charge that, right? It's the same concept as someone living inside of Atlanta. You're going to spend so much more for that real estate because that's prime real estate. California, you're next to the beach. You're in the mountains. Napa Valley, like. All of these things play a role into real estate, and especially how much money people make also plays a role in that. So that kind of answers that question. But you take a look at any major city and how much the real estate is inside that major city comparative to, outside the city. It's the same concept. I am curious though. Did that answer your first question? You got any other ones, Tam? That was a good dad joke, dude. Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate that. Good answer on the first one or the second question, Vic? Is London a state or country? Is London a state or country? Dude, I don't know. Is London a state? Is this a joke? I don't think it's either, right? London's not a country, bro. It's not a state. Obviously, it's not a state. What? You confusing me, bro. It's a city, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's in the UK. Yeah, okay, so London is a city. And I appreciate that, Vic. Hopefully my 12, 13 years of being in the business can formulate a good answer on something, right? Tam, are you setting up a joke again? Vic, what are the questions you have, bro? Is Trump good for the real estate industry? I think that's a multifaceted question, right? I think some of his policies are going to lend itself to a positive role inside of real estate, but I also think that depending on which policies he puts into place, could have a negative effect. It tends to, like talking about the 50-year mortgage, that's a terrible idea. Anyone in real estate will be able to tell you that. Like you start talking about 50-year mortgages, the only people who are going to be able to or want to be able to do a 50-year mortgage are going to be folks that don't have a lot of money up front, and they're going to be basically financing their down payments. They're going to be financing, you know, they're just not going to have a lot of money monthly, right? And so by putting something like that in place, they're never going, sure, they'll be able to own a home, but they're never going to capitalize on what home ownership is, which is ultimately equity. People, we deal with a lot of first-time home buyers where we're at, and the biggest thing that I push is like, get into equity. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what that process is. If it's buying something cheaper and then fixing it up, get into equity as fast as you can, because then you can buy that first home that may not meet all of your needs and it may not be the exact location you want, but you're able to build that equity up and then take that equity that it's basically like your home is your bank account, and every payment you make, you're increasing that bank. And when you sell that home or eventually move out of that home and roll that equity into the next home, you're building yourself up wealth wise for future things. So 50-year mortgage, terrible idea in my personal opinion. But he does have some other policies where like he's trying to lower these interest rates. That would be good for the real estate market. I don't know if it's going to be great for first-time home buyers. I don't know if it's going to be great for the people that recently bought a home, other than the fact they'll be able to refinance and get into some lower rates, but the housing prices will go up. And that's something that we'll have to kind of address. And ideally, I mean, I don't think housing prices are ever going to go down to where they used to be. I just don't see that happening. Like when before COVID, before all the shutdowns and everything, real estate was decent, right? It wasn't crazy as far as pricing goes. Like things were somewhat affordable. I don't think that we're ever going to be in a space where affordability is going to be. I don't think we're ever going to be back in that space. It would take an absolute it would take the economy to absolutely fall, which, you know, with the whole Epstein stuff going on right now, who knows? Do I play video games? No, I don't play video games, bro. I don't have a lot of time. I will tell you this, if there's a video game in front of me and I have the opportunity to do that, I would probably do it. I just don't give myself the opportunity for that. Can you fly with those ears? Bro, these are cauliflower ears from jujitsu. So, there's that. How you feel about that? But yeah, they actually do have a mode where you can flick them back and forth fast enough to where you can fly. Bee's knees. Did that answer your question, Vic? So it's a double-edged sword, bro. What do I do for a living? I'm in residential and commercial real estate. We do a lot of different facets of that, but mainly sales. Sales with all of that. And right now, dude, I was trying to figure out if I was going to get on TRT or if I was just going to do some supplement stuff right now. And I think, yeah, I'm going to go try to do some supplements instead of TRT. I don't know. Have you guys heard of that function? The website. It's maybe not a website. It's a like a program, like a you sign up and you get your blood work done. That's what I've been doing right now. But I mean, this has been some like really good questions this morning, dude. Do you stream every day or sometimes? So we're getting into the space of starting to do it every day. We didn't really see the benefit of it prior to probably about 2 weeks ago. But lately we've been doing it every day for like last week we started, and it's been really good, dude. I like being able to communicate with just people outside of like our viewers or our TikTok people or Instagram people. I think this kind of opens up the conversation. So, it allows me to answer a little bit more questions in depth and kind of see where people's heads are at. So I'm thinking like we'll probably start this like an hour a day for right now, and then ultimately increase it as we start seeing some progress on it. I think last time we did it, we got like 10 followers on our page. And Vic, did that answer your question on that one? I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. And I feel like Bee's knees just popped on just to comment about my ears and then rolled out. That was wild, bro. Nah, but these have been like some really good questions, bro. And like I said, we do commercial, we do residential sales for real estate. We do all kinds of good stuff. Any questions about residential, commercial, sales, and real estate? We do investment, we do all kinds of good stuff. Any questions about commercial real estate, residential real estate, sales, jujitsu, anything like that? Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate that. We try to fixing the dress code around this place, man. Got the suit from man, I always keep forgetting the name. State and Liberty, dude. Their quality of suit is amazing, and it's like a material. It's kind of like I don't really know how to explain it, but it's nice, dude. Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, we like I said, we've been trying to increase the dress code. Bro, you need to get yourself one. I'm telling you, bro. They it's the quality is super good, and it's like flexible, like, and when they come in, like it's almost like a tailored fit. It's more of like an athletic fit suit. It's nice, dude. I appreciate that. And they have wool suits and everything too, which is cool. Anybody on here in like TRT? I've been bouncing back and forth with the idea of jumping on TRT. I don't have like low levels of T, but my T is like it's like 620, which is, it's median. So I'm looking at either starting TRT or just getting like some vitamins and stuff like that, just to maximize what I've got now and just see where that goes first. I did blood work on probably the beginning of last year. So that's the thing. I don't do any alcohol. I don't think it's a sad question at all, bro. The idea behind it is if I can maximize it without getting on T, I'm gonna do that. But I don't drink alcohol, and my quality of food is solid. It's just like they're not moving. Sad question. No, I'm not on any meds at all, dude. Right now, I mean, everything's dialed. Like, obviously, I probably need to do better on my sleep. Um, I don't, I get up at 4:30 and probably go to bed at like 10:30, 11. So sleep could probably use some work, but overall, I mean, everything else is dialed. Like I use the meals that I eat are from what the fuck is that? I don't know if I can cuss on this. But yeah, I ordered meals in. Oh, Nutrition Solutions, dude. Sleep is very important. Try to fix that with less phone time starting at 7:30. That's a good point, dude. Yeah, I try to cut off the phone. Like obviously being in sales, dude, like it's nonstop, bro. It's nonstop. So it's like as I probably leave the office probably around like 7:30 or so. So I mean, yeah, I definitely can try that. So really, started bringing my phone in the bed. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's one of those things, dude. Like, you don't even think about it, right? Like, you don't even think about how much you're on the phone until you start looking at things like that. But yeah, no, that's a good point. I'll make a note on that. I could see how that could play. And I guess like once you started doing that and stopped doing that, um, did they go back up? Everything except that it was low key brutal. Okay, yeah, and that's cool. Like I don't really play video games or anything like that, but obviously I'm around screens like all day, so that might be something to make a note on for sure. Yeah, I could see how like the screens, like I've done some research on that, and the screens are like absolutely crazy. There's like I've got this thing where like I switch my phone to like the red light thing. Obviously, it's not real red light, but it just dims the blue. Um, so I turn that on at night, and like the lamps in my bedroom are red. That's cool, bro. I'm glad that that went back up. Dylan, yeah, no, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't really start making my calls and doing everything until about 9. So, and I guess that's kind of the perk of owning a company. This is kind of working. But yeah, that's something I'm working on. But yeah, we're in residential, commercial, investment, real estate sales, and so I mean we're dealing with sales every single day. So if you guys have any questions about that stuff as well. Where did you get your test done, Spunk? So we do commercial, residential, real estate sales. We do investments. We do commercial, residential, investment, real estate sales. We do all kinds of stuff like that. We cover commercial real estate, residential real estate, obviously sales. So we're in sales every single day. So if you guys have any questions about that. We do commercial real estate, residential real estate. So if you guys got any questions about that stuff. Obviously, all kinds of sales, sales advice, building a business, stuff like that. I've been in business for over 12 years now, 12, 13 years. Any questions about that? Any questions about real estate, sales, anything like that? We do commercial, residential. We do commercial sales, residential sales, investment sales, all sort of anything real estate related. Any questions, current market, anything like that. Any questions? Any questions on any real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate? We do commercial, residential, investment real estate. We do all kinds of cool stuff. Sales, any questions on anything like that? Any questions on any residential, commercial, investment, real estate, sales in general, current market updates? We cover everything Georgia, Metro Atlanta. We do commercial, residential, investment, real estate, always in sales. So if you have any questions about sales, lifestyle, whatever. We do commercial, residential, investment, real estate. What's up, guys? We do commercial, residential, investment, real estate, all kinds of sales. So anything that you have any questions on about that? We do commercial, residential, investment, real estate. I coach a team of agents. I've got 3 or 4 agents now. We've gotten up to probably 10 agents total, and kind of worked our way back down. I think we like the number that we're at now. So we do coaching, we do investment real estate, we do commercial real estate, residential real estate, all that kind of good stuff. Any questions at all? Anything at all? We do, we're focused in Georgia. Hey, what's up, Shelly? We cover all of Georgia, Metro Atlanta, pretty much all parts of Georgia. So anything that you're looking at as far as any